Is there such a thing as a degree of freedom that can become burdensome? On the face of it, the notion that one could have too much freedom seems immediately counterintuitive. However, it may be possible that there exists such a scenario where a person is faced with so much freedom and the concomitant weight of decision generated by the exponential options implied by greater and greater freedom, that he or she begins to drown in it. Erich Fromm's The Fear of Freedom is a book that explores the concept of freedom and its psychological effects on individuals. Fromm argues that while freedom is a desirable state, it can also lead to feelings of isolation, anxiety, and a sense of meaninglessness. He argues that people cope with these negative emotions by employing what he calls mechanisms of escape. Erich Fromm was born in 1900 and died in 1980. He was a German-born social psychologist, philosopher, and psychoanalyst. He is known for his contributions to the fields of humanistic psychology, social theory, and psychoanalysis, and for his critical analysis of modern Western society. Fromm was born in Frankfurt, Germany, and studied at the universities of Heidelberg and Frankfurt. He received his PhD in sociology from the University of Heidelberg in 1922. He went on to study psychoanalysis with Sigmund Freud and worked as a psychoanalyst in Germany until the rise of the Nazi regime forced him to flee the country in 1933. He settled in the United States, where he taught at a number of universities, including Columbia University and New York University. He wrote numerous books, including Escape from Freedom, but also The Art of Loving and To Have or To Be, which explored themes such as individualism, freedom, and the human condition. Fromm was influenced by a number of intellectual traditions, including Marxism, psychoanalysis, and humanistic psychology. He argued that modern Western society was characterized by a sense of alienation and detachment from traditional social structures and values, and that individuals needed to cultivate a sense of self-awareness and connection to others in order to achieve true fulfillment and meaning in life. According to Fromm, the experience of freedom requires individuals to take responsibility for their own lives and make their own choices. This can be a daunting task for some, particularly if they lack the self-awareness, critical thinking skills, and values necessary to navigate the challenges that come with autonomy. He believes that individuals cope with this anxiety in different ways. Some seek to merge with a group or an authority figure, which can provide a sense of security and belonging. Others may adopt authoritarian beliefs and behaviors, which allow them to avoid the responsibility and risk associated with freedom. Fromm makes the case that these tendencies are particularly prevalent in modern capitalist societies, which promote individualism and competition while simultaneously eroding social bonds and a sense of purpose. He suggests that this creates a profound sense of alienation, disconnection, and meaninglessness, which in turn fuels the desire for conformity and authoritarianism. One of the central themes of Erich Fromm's The Fear of Freedom is the mechanisms of escape that individuals use to cope with the anxiety and uncertainty associated with freedom. One mechanism of escape that Fromm identifies is conformity. This involves adopting the beliefs, values, and behaviors of a group in order to fit in and avoid standing out. By conforming, individuals can gain a sense of security and belonging, but they also sacrifice their individuality and autonomy in the process. Another mechanism of escape is authoritarianism. This involves giving up one's freedom and submitting to the will of an authority figure, such as a leader or a government. By doing so, individuals can avoid making difficult choices and taking responsibility for their own lives, but they also surrender their autonomy and risk being controlled by others. A third mechanism of escape is destructiveness. This involves lashing out at oneself or others in order to relieve the anxiety and frustration associated with freedom. By destroying things, individuals can gain a sense of power and control, but they also perpetuate a cycle of violence and destruction. Finally, Fromm suggests that individuals can also escape from freedom by pursuing pleasure and materialism. This involves seeking immediate gratification through consumerism, entertainment, and other forms of distraction. By focusing on pleasure, individuals can avoid confronting the deeper existential questions and challenges associated with freedom, but they also risk losing sight of their true values and goals. Fromm's analysis of the mechanisms of escape highlights the ways in which individuals can avoid the challenges and risks of freedom, but also the limitations and negative consequences of doing so. By understanding these mechanisms, Fromm encourages individuals to confront their fears and anxieties and to strive for true freedom and self-realization. Clearly, Fromm's body of work has clear implications for mental health and well-being. We can now look at his insights from the perspective of mental health and reflect on how this might be applied practically in order to foster better mental health outcomes for individuals. From a mental health perspective, Erich Fromm's The Fear of Freedom has several important implications. When individuals are unable to confront the anxiety associated with freedom and achieve a sense of autonomy and self-realization, it can lead to mental health problems such as depression, anxiety, and neurosis. According to Fromm, one of the main obstacles to achieving true freedom and autonomy is the very mechanisms of escape that individuals use to cope with the anxiety and uncertainty associated with freedom. Fromm argues that conformity, authoritarianism, destructiveness, and pleasure-seeking can all be harmful to mental health, as they prevent individuals from developing a sense of self-awareness, purpose, and meaning. Fromm also suggests that modern capitalist societies, with their emphasis on individualism, competition, and materialism, can be detrimental to mental health. He argues that these societies erode social bonds and create a sense of alienation and isolation, which can contribute to mental health problems. Additionally, the pressure to conform to social norms and expectations can lead to a loss of individuality and a sense of disconnection from one's own values and goals. It is therefore no surprise that Fromm suggests true mental health requires individuals to achieve a sense of autonomy, self-awareness, and purpose. Of course, this requires a commitment to personal growth, reflection, and critical thinking, as well as a willingness to challenge social norms and question authority. By achieving true freedom and self-realization, individuals can develop a sense of meaning and purpose, which can contribute to mental health and well-being. Fromm's ideas continue to be influential in a variety of fields, including psychology, philosophy, and social theory. The Fear of Freedom offers a compelling critique of modern society and the ways in which it shapes our relationship to freedom and autonomy. By examining the psychological and social factors that influence our behavior, Fromm provides valuable insights into how we can cultivate a more fulfilling and meaningful life.